Alrighty. The KTNG Morning Show, KTNG860am.org. KTNG 501c status nonprofit. Let us begin our day with a small prayer. You may join me if you wish. If not, I don't judge. But more so, don't do this because it makes you a slave. And definitely don't do this if you're looking for money from outsourcing. But more so, in humility. Thank God for my early rise in the morning and good health. Also thank God for the opportunities He places before me, so therefore I may succeed at them only. I thank God for abilities to help those who cannot help themselves and to show that self-reliance does areas, but also to show compassion towards our enemies, even though they deserve a patada in the culo. That's why Jesus Christ unto the 227th day after the throne of Jah himself, King Haile Selassie, Jah Rastafari, Jah Rastafari, Jah Rastafari. Come on in, join the conversation, because as you know, the dragon of the mountain is up and woke. That's right, people. When he roars mightily, so residents, dissidents, constitutionalists, rioters, revolutionists, and people who still can't put their pants on correctly in the morning. Welcome to the KTNG Morning Show. Yes, coming to you live from Facebook and YouTube. That's right, baby. And if you're on YouTube, hit that like and subscribe button so that way you can get daily reports of what we do here in the morning. And I am your host. From the left to the right, coast to the north to the south, the irrepressible mouth on beat people, if you can keep up with me. The G to the R to the I to the T to the Z. Zesty on top of the mountain all the way down to way all day. The freak on the peak who's about to speak, and if you open up your mind, you might learn something for the rest of this damn week. Anyway, I gotta thank everybody for tuning in throughout the rest of the day on our African History Month here, hearing some of the audio docs and so forth. But by all means, express yourself. That's why we ask everyone to join the conversation. Anyway, so let's get down to business, shall we? Now, in the last 24 hours, we have watched 9,000 lies come out, and therefore it gives us the premise for our today's spit, which is called 2.5 strawberry shortcakes. What do I mean by 2.5? Okay, well, anyway, boy made a deal. Okay, you know, your boy made a deal. He had to sign it. We got a government shutdown in the next 2 days, and for the love of it, this is the crazy thing. For the love of it, people are basically just acting as though this was some sort of cult thing that was happening, but it is. It truly is. And therefore, that what makes all the things great about America has come to a sour, and I'm talking baby diaper sour, shitty boo-boo sour, okay? Straight up. So let's get on here and check out the news and all the views that we got here. Now, from the Daily Beast. I love these guys. Huh? Okay. Seriously. Here it is. Cheeseburger. Now, you know who I'm talking about when it comes to cheeseburger, right? You know the man with the small hands who got the yellow deal with 2 prostitutes in Russia. Not the green deal, new green deal. It's a new yellow deal. It's the old yellow deal for that matter. You know, your master in chief of disgust and rust, redaction and subtraction, your commander in beef of stress and mess. Burger, cheeseburger. That's right. I had to like crack on some stuff like yesterday, especially on YouTube. And everybody's like defending, you know, cheeseburger about, you know, building a wall and calling everybody from the left a bunch of dotards and so forth. So I spelled it out for them. In a nutshell, I just basically told everybody that was the page for TYT, the Young Turks, damage report. I told them straight out that you might as well get yourself a gas mask, you know, oxygen mask, MREs, and lock yourself indoors, because this idiot doesn't know anything about climate change. Ernest Franklin, good morning, my brother in Texas. Woohoo! So, if anything, what we have learned at this particular point, that 5.7 billion minus, you know, 2.5 leaves about 1.3 or 1.2 left on the damn table. So where does the other 1.3 go? Where does the other 2.5 go? Obviously, this jackass was so enthralled with whipping up his base, with whipping up stupid people, with making sure that at least he got some love that damn day. From the Daily Beast. Cheeseburger claims he'll be getting $23 billion in border security funding from other sources. I think that's what that Ted Cruz thing was about. Anyway, despite the bipartisan agreement allocating only $1.38 billion for 55 miles of new fencing along the border, quote unquote, was just presented the concept and parameters of the border security deal by hardworking Senator Rich Shelby. Cheeseburger tweeted on Tuesday evening, looking over all the aspects, knowing that this will be hooked up with lots of money from other sources, Cheeseburger wrote, we'll be getting almost $23 billion for border security. Regardless of wall money, it is being built as we speak. It was not immediately clear, quote-unquote, what other sources he was referring to. According to the Wall Street Journal, the deal struck by bipartisan negotiators Monday night includes only part of the $5.7 billion Cheeseburger wanted in order to build his border wall. If Cheeseburger doesn't sign the deal, funding may, for many government agencies, would lapse at 12:01 a.m. on Saturday, causing a second government shutdown over the southern border wall fight. Wow. They went from build the wall to finish the wall to, oh God, why do we need it? Okay? And get this, you only getting about $1.38 billion. Now, out of the 9,000 wolf tickets that America has sucked up at this particular point, don't you think at this point you would be tired of this rhetoric? Obviously not. Well, you got a bunch of below average, low-brainer, MAGA hat idiots out there. Mueller ain't going anywhere, okay? You know, to make sure that at least that, you know, they say that, you know, this is over something stupid, okay? If there's already stuff there, what are you going to do, just build stuff on top of stuff and give the rest of the money to Fat Tony's kids? You know, the concrete guy. Really? 10% of that, and guess how much these fools are making now? Wow. BuzzFeed News, advocates say repeated threats of a government shutdown are hurting low-income tenants, and who better than a low-income tenant who spends $30,000 on furniture, okay, and then has the nerve to sit up and tell everybody who's poor and underneath the ladder to pull their bootstraps up. Well, let me address this to our impoverished people here in America. First and foremost, they don't care about you. They don't want you to have fair housing. They don't want you to have food. They don't want you to have water. They don't want you to have any kind of access to Medicare that may be substantial in preventing cancer, in preventing dysphoria, in preventing starvation, in preventing homelessness. No, no, no. We need those figures on a day-to-day, month-to-month, year-to-year, decade-to-decade, generation-to-generation access. So therefore, the government can sit there and say, well, we can give you pennies and crumbs and see if you fight over them. And that's precisely what you motherfuckers are doing. Okay, so BuzzFeed, here it is. Low-income tenants and advocates say the threat of prolonged and repeated shutdowns under the Cheeseburger administration is damaging public housing programs that millions of Americans rely on to have a roof over their heads. Tenants, housing advocates, and industry groups told BuzzFeed News that even though the funding of most of HUD programs was available throughout the last shutdown, and has been promised through April and May, should the government shut down again, the instability caused by a pattern of shutdown threats is already hurting low-income housing tenants and providers. Advocates say the situation was made worse during the last shutdown by HUD officials being unavailable to answer questions and making adjustments to spending, as more than 90% of HUD workers are furloughed. Adrian Todman, CEO of the National Association of Housing and Redevelopment Officials, said it was, quote-unquote, almost a guarantee out of the last shutdown, quote unquote, that some landlords will stop working with government programs for low-income tenants, which means if that goes through, if these guys go through with their accusations, or for that matter, if they go through with their promises on this end and say that they won't deal with the government, what does that mean? We have another housing crisis, and therefore corporations are going to have to pick up the tab. But then again, they get tax breaks. They can afford it. Jeez. Okay? She goes on to say, she says that, that private landlords will be working with Section 8 voucher programs are already hard to come by, especially in places with competitive real estate markets like LA, New York, Chicago, Florida, Texas, many other places and so forth that have a whole bunch of black and brown people. Not realizing that in many cases, the numbers just don't add up. I mean, come on. Who's the biggest tenant on welfare, okay, as welfare recipients? Damn sure ain't us, okay? She goes on to say, I'm afraid of a long-term impact that the shutdown has had, and heaven forbid if it happens again. It means that the last shutdown wasn't an outliner. It means there's going to be even more bad business as usual here in D.C. Bad business. Bad business. My God, the man done lied dang near 9,000 times. He's screwed up so many deals at this particular point. Many of the people who are leaving out of the White House are sitting on this, turning coats on him left and right. Come on. He hasn't made one damn deal that was significant to anybody in this nation whatsoever. Okay? I don't even want to recap it because and if you are sitting up there wondering if everything will turn around and he wants to run for president again, he's going to get booed out badly. Booed out badly. Seriously. I just feel, I have to feel sorry for him when he goes up for that 2020 election bid. But anyway, the fact of the matter is this, okay? She goes on to say that of her subsidized apartment complex, which has already been nervous that the building owner would not renew with the government because Roosevelt Island real estate is lucrative at a market rate. She said management has told tenants that they are renewing their contract, but many tenants still haven't received their new leases, so tensions are still high. For some public housing authorities, Tobin said, a shutdown would also mean not being able to do large-scale maintenance work on things like building plumbing and heating because some authorities will require manual permission from HUD officials who are furloughed. Some of them started posting notices to their owners and tenants saying we only have funds through the end of February. We don't know. Tenants advocates also say that they saw some vulnerable people with Section 8 vouchers fall through the cracks because of the last shutdown and worry that could happen again in another shutdown. Wow. So, where's Ben Carson in all this crap? Mr. HUD. Wow. You put a black man in charge of housing, and what does he do? He screws everybody else underneath it. What for? A bigger paycheck? Perhaps. But he doesn't care about the low-income people that he serves. Maybe if the low-income people would actually write letters or emails or write to their congressman about Ben Carson's decisions and then meet on Capitol Hill for it and challenge that bastard right then and there, what is his problem? Maybe you might get some answers. Maybe you might get relief. But then again, that shutdown is running around the corner. Here it comes. 2 more days. Woo-hoo-hoo. Will we shut down or will we be running because Cheeseburger's Wolf tickets were called right then and there? Okay, come on. Do you want any more proof? How about this? Political. Okay. El Paso Fire Department denies Cheeseburger's crowd claim rally. All right. This fool went off and said, there's never been anything like this in the history of our country. He's always saying this crap like there's never been anything because of me. If it hadn't been for me, we wouldn't be in Iraq. If it hadn't been for me, we wouldn't be in Iraq. If it hadn't been for me, we wouldn't be, pulling off a coup. That subsequently means that Venezuela is getting robbed, jacked, and slapped in the face by the quote-unquote self-proposed president. He goes on to say, if you would say, as an example, that tonight 69,000 people signed up to be here, now the arena holds 8,000, and thank you, Fire Department. They got in at about 10,000. Thank you, Fire Department. Appreciate it. The El Paso Fire Department said Cheeseburger's statement was untrue. Here are the facts, people. Fire Department spokesman Enrique Aguilar told the El Paso Times on Monday that Cheeseburger did not receive permission to exceed the limit and that there were 6,500 people, not 10,000, 6,500. Of course, obviously, if you're an Adderall sniffer, a junkie, a crackhead, whatever and whatnot, your mind goes first. And then your cognitive patterns of speech start to slur, start to jumble. Your reasoning does not match the sentences that you have, and you sound like an incoherent buffoon. Believe me, I know junkies, all right? I just won't deal with them, okay? All right? So therefore, 6,500 people inside the building during the president's rally. The Coliseum holds about 6,500 people. There were thousands more watching Cheeseburger's big speech on the screens outside the facility. Aguilar added it might be 10,000 people on the outside, but said that the fire department didn't track the number of people outside the Coliseum, the El Paso Times reported. Now, Cheeseburger has inflated his crowd sizes in the past and hit back at critics who questioned the numbers. Hit me, fool! Hit me! I criticize your crap all damn day long, okay? And my neighbors don't know. My friends come over and they hear it all damn day. But yes, this man is a freaking liar. All right, here's some more lies, okay? Cheeseburger, who also falsely claimed on Monday night that the former Representative Beto O'Rourke, who is considering a 2020 presidential run, only had a couple hundred people to attend his counter rally in El Paso. So let's say we have 35 people here tonight. And he has 200 people, 300 people, not good. Estimates from O'Rourke's anti-border wall protest showed that 7,000 to 8,000 people attended his rally, much bigger than the condiments that showed up at Cheeseburger's rallies, assaulting a doggone reporter and the cameraman. How do you stand for that? Some reports put attendance as high as 10 to 15,000. So obviously, since Cheeseburger doesn't know his math all that good, 15,000 is greater than 6,500. Okay. Now, in fact, I would say that it be the end of his presidential bid. Presidential said, but he did challenge us. Cheeseburger on Tuesday doubled down on those false claims in exchange with reporters during a Tuesday cabinet meeting, telling the White House press pool that O'Rourke failed very badly and that, quote unquote, from what I hear, he had less than 1,000 people. Okay, so not only did he double down, but he double downs a lie. Doubling down on a lie makes him a pathological liar all the way around. He's done nothing for this country but spin it into what we call a morass of immorality. He's done nothing more than whip up his base in a frenzy for this stupid wall that will never happen. Well, parts of it may be. I mean, come on. If you got a bunch of idiots out there locked in arms, putting up a human wall, that says a lot for the intelligence of the speaker himself. Does it not? I mean, come on. What's the debate here? What's the debate? All right? If you're stupid enough to fall for this idiot, stupid enough to follow this idiot. And like lemmings, they have a tendency to jump off the cliff any damn way. All right? So, well, one thing I know that's pretty much not a lie is all the crap that Cheeseburger has been able to do. Now, he's done some good for America. I must admit, he's done some good for America. Really. I mean, here in the state of Colorado, we can give medical marijuana to kids, to students and shit. Okay? Where's the rest of the world? All right? New York Times, Cheeseburger's trade war leaves American whiskey on the rocks. I feel like Neil Diamond moment coming up. Trade on the rocks and no substitutions. Trade on the rocks and I have no absolutions. Professor Najee, good morning, sir. Good morning, Jah Rastafari. Here we go. From out of New York Times, as Cheeseburger's global trade war approaches its pivotal moment, American industry is trying to use Cheeseburger's love of big economic numbers to get him to stand down. Cheeseburger faces a series of decisions over the next several weeks about whether to ratchet up tariffs on Chinese goods, impose new duties on imports of foreign cars, and keep metal tariffs on trading partners like Canada and Mexico. While Cheeseburger's economic North Star has been reducing the trade gap between American exports and what import industries, from soybean farmers to nail manufacturers, are trying to convince Cheeseburger that his policies are having the opposite effect. What part of genius is this man doing with a business acumen, grade level of F minus? minus. You get 3 minuses on that one. Okay? So on Tuesday, the American spirits industry joined the growing chorus of businesses and trade groups trying to get Cheeseburger to remove tariffs on Chinese goods and foreign metals by showcasing an economic pain that the trade war has inflicted. Oh, boo freaking who? Okay, boo hoo on that. You voted for this fool. Now you got to deal with the repercussions of your own actions, of stupidity. STOOPIDITY, stupidity. And since America flourishes on stupidity, let's just keep this in perspective, all right? Since Cheeseburger's administration inflated tariffs last year on foreign and steel and aluminum, $763 million worth of American spirits exports have been subject to retaliatory tariffs, according to the data released by the Distilled Spirits Council and Industry Group. The most draconian, duties have come from Europe, where the rate on American whiskey is 25%. Quote unquote, the market is on the edge of its seat. Chris R. Swanger. Ooh, boy. I could go places with that. The chief executive of the industry group said in an interview on Tuesday, we hope, quote unquote, that Cheeseburger's administration can land a plane on these major trade agreements. However, Cheeseburger's tariffs have exacted a toll on a range of American businesses and raising costs for imported goods and creating new tariff barriers as Europe, China, Canada, and Mexico retaliate with tariffs and reduce market access. Financial markets have been gyrating on signs of optimism or pessimism about the trade disputes, and economists have blamed the tariff policies for contributing to weaker economic growth and diminished business confidence. So what part of that State of the Union address does that matter when economically we are falling? Okay? As I told you, our recession is due this year. Okay? I've been saying this for the last 3 years now. Okay? So, needless to say, bottom line is this, people. Bottom line is, economists at Nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office estimated that the administration's trade policies would average a 0.1% point per year off economic growth over the next decade. 10 years from now, we will not even grow. We will be stagnant behind this garbage that, yes, Cheeseburger has put upon everything. Why? Maybe he's trying to pay off this debt to the Russians. Maybe. I mean, come on, it's easy to watch money in Deutschland Bank. I mean, they don't check for crap. But then again, you know, the idiocy and the ignorance of it shows a level of arrogance that is just unprecedented, okay? And for people following that level of arrogance, you are about to get hit with the worst tax cut ever. It means you were missing $170 out of your refund. $23 billion is coming, people. For spirits, slower exports did not stop the industry from booming a year. Thanks largely to the strong American economy, revenue across the sector was up 5.1% to a record level of $27.5 billion in 2018, with sales of the most expensive liquors growing fastest, which means rich people are buying stuff. I mean, is that how we are supposed to, gauge our economy? When rich people buy stuff, it means that the economy is doing well. Don't you think these rich people will, have some sort of practicality of saying, perhaps maybe we're going about this in the wrong direction instead of buying booze? Okay, why don't you guys do something real good, like buy up land to put a community center, a library, a school? I mean, LeBron James did it. He's pretty much a millionaire. I'm just saying, okay? The Distilled Spirits Council hosted this year. The Distilled Spirits Council hosted its annual economic briefing in the gleaming Manhattan skyscraper overlooking the East River. Bloody Berries with top shelf vodka were on tap. Consumers are drinking up and drinking better. Wow. So now that we got Americans out there buying all the expensive liquor and they're drinking good and they're drinking better, adds more problems to our Medicaid and Medicare problems, right? Right. Cirrhosis of the liver. Oh, we can beat that. Sure, all I got to do is just eat cauliflower for the rest of my life. Good grief. I swear. It's just unbelievable. It's just totally unbelievable. But then again, what's not to believe? Cheeseburger just doing this simply on his own whims. He does not care what his advisor says. He doesn't read his briefings. Nothing at all. Except sit in front of that damn TV, chit-chatting, okay, with the TV, with Fox and Friends, and Sean Hannity, and any other right-wing controlled media that is government-sponsored at this particular point, because this is so Orwellian to a point where you got to believe what's actually happening. You have to believe what's actually happening. We are seeing fascism destroy democracy on such an unprecedented level that we keep thinking that it will get better the next day if this fool dies, okay, straight up. So, Washington Post, Trump's failed shutdown strategy produced an even worse deal than we started with. It has been about 12 hours since the House and Senate negotiations reached a tentative deal to avert another government shutdown, and Cheeseburger still hasn't issued an all-important endorsement. All you got to do is sign the damn thing. It's part of his wall built, and he can go down in history as the only president who left $2.5 billion on the damn table because Nancy Pelosi spanked that ass. That may be because the deal is a pretty bitter pill to swallow. In fact, it's probably the worst deal Cheeseburger would have gotten if he had never shut down the government in the first place. The deal was laid out, does include some border fencing, about $1.38 billion worth, or 55 miles. Well, that's shy of the $5.7 billion and 200 miles of wall funding he demanded that led to the shutdown, but it's nothing. Cheeseburger could argue that he's got something out of that that 35-day government shutdown. Of course he got something. But to the American people, a promise is a promise. And if you keep your damn promises, you're a fabricator, a liar, a idolater. You're everything that the devil has made himself and cloned and put on this earth to annoy and piss off God in so many ways that, let's see. I guess John, in fact, told Mother Nature to send out that nice little cold spell where 8 people died from it. Climate change, like he knows. Really. Okay? But only if you ignore two very important things here. One is that the compromise includes a concession to Democrats to, quote unquote, a reduction in the number of detention beds. Okay? The deal also admits a strict new cap Democrats had sought in immigrant detained within the United States, as opposed to at the border. At the same time, it also limits overall levels of detention beds maintained by the United States Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency, ICE, although GOP aides said ICE would have enough money and flexibility to maintain its current detention levels and add more when needed. Okay, that is a strategy, a long-term strategy. Cheeseburger's looking for a quick fix. You ADD MAGA hat idiots out there are looking for that quick fix, and it's not going to happen. All right? Most drugs and illegal activity come in by legal ports. Why don't we beef up security there? Cheesy Pete. But the bigger issue is this. The amount of funding is actually shy of the original deal Republicans and Democrats reached last year that Cheeseburger rejected. And at that time, the spending bill for the Department of Homeland Security included $1.6 billion for 65 miles of fencing. Okay? Both slightly more than the current tentative deal. So, this is the art of the deal? This is the man who pens a book with a ghostwriter? Who says, oh, yeah, I got a loan from my dad, I build, I'm in real estate, I'm this, I'm that, but to me, you're just wick, whack. Loser! Horrible loser, horrible loser. And the deal on the table passed 26-5 in the Senate Appropriations Committee in June. When Cheeseburger initially began demanding $5 billion for the wall, now he's getting slightly less than $1.6 billion while also making concessions to Democrats on detention beds. All the way around, yeah, he lost a grip of money. If he's lost any respect in this particular point, I would be overjoyed because then you MAGA-headed idiots out there would finally wake up and realize that you have a liar in chief. Okay? A disposable idiot, a businessman who has subsequently had 6 bankruptcies, 14 banks in the United States won't give him any more money. To build what? Failed infrastructures? Buildings that are halfway empty? Hotels that look like mausoleums? In Azerbaijan, in Russia, he's trying to build something there? Come on! Welcome, Zulu King. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for coming down. Join the conversation, babies. Okay, but it's rather apparent, it's all too apparent that the transparency level here is geared towards saving face at this point rather than winning the debate. Assuming Republicans can get anything more out of this deal they have right now, it will be quite a capitulation. Cheeseburger could have taken the $1.6 billion earlier and declared a national emergency last year before all this went down. He will have gotten basically nothing for shutting the government down for 35 days, and he just might have to take it. That's right. with no Vaseline. Wow. What an idiot. But we love our idiots in America because that's what keeps us entertained. Really. I mean, come on. What idiot would actually go out and do some crap like this? All right, we're at the halfway point, people. And, of course, everybody on YouTube, you gets the gas face. Okay? Straight up. No, seriously. But if you're there, you can actually see what we've got on our website at ktng860am.org. And for you guys out on Facebook, get the mug. Show your support for what we do here. Become a supporter for $20 or get the mug itself. Shows you support free speech, and not only that, critical analysis, and of course, very sarcastic satire made for you and me. Okay, not for Cheeseburger, because obviously this man can't even read. All right? If you're on YouTube, check us out. On Kindle, The Iron Tree, Happier Than a Big Bowl of Oranges, and The Art of Eve, as well as the mug itself. You can get all this stuff there on Kindle, or you can get to our website at ktng860am.org and support what we do. That's right. Unified Community Broadcasting, Talking Soul Radio of all of Colorado Springs and the world. Back on action. Let's go to page 2 of our disgusting things that we love so much about making this country so great. Ugh, that never was great. I mean, come on. We're 28th in education here. Okay? Industrialized nation? Sure. Full of bed bugs, people. We're full of bed bugs. Anyway. Yes. Some people just basically have the knack for getting under the burr of other people. Cheeseburger has done that so well that he has infused, and I say infused, many people to come from out of, say, different corners of the world to speak against him. To, I would say, let's see, what they would call, I don't know. I'll throw this out there. To call what we call, you know, I guess, incumbent genocide. Seriously. Okay. Well, if anything, you know, my man definitely says he embraces a lot of things. Of course he embraces a lot of things. Look what embraced him. White nationalists, the KKK, white supremacy, a model of an ethno-state, the apology, the sad-ass apology for Charlottesville. Well, guess who? Mama done came up and spoke up. Fox News, Chelsea Clinton defends Omar, says Cheeseburger never said sorry for white nationalism embrace. Now, as we all know, the Representative Anan Omar's apology on Twitter about, you know, the Palestinians and Israel, that conflict is still going on, and of course, Israel is being racist. Of course, they don't want no Africans in their city at all. They don't. So what Chelsea Clinton did was call out Vice President Mike Pence for saying that Representative Anan Omar's apology for earlier Twitter post calls anti-Semitic was inadequate and busted Cheeseburger for peddling hate. He does. Okay, look what happened down at the freaking border when you got a bunch of idiots sitting up there holding arms and we're going to make a human wall. What, to play Red Rover, Red Rover? If a mass of 3,700 people were to run at that wall of human people, I don't think the white nationalists there and you vendidos, sellouts, and malinchistas and everybody else who subsequently, you know, dick ride on that end, would find 9 times out of 10 that you would be overwhelmed. You might catch it, but you might take a bullet for old pasty ass. Okay? So Clinton was critical of Omar's tweeting, posting that, quote unquote, we should expect elected officials, regardless of party and all public figures, not to traffic anti-Semitism. Why? Because they're Zionist? Or is it because that if we establish more relations with Israel, we build a fake historical representation of Israel's Jews and Jews around the world, that they have a permanent home in Africa, really turns things off, doesn't it? Okay? So therefore, but she also goes on to say that Cheeseburger is far more powerful person and has never apologized for his embrace of white nationalism or anti-Semitic and Islamophobic hate. Omar said she had no intentions of offending anyone, including Jewish Americans, when insinuating that lobbyists were paying lawmakers to support Israel. Cheeseburger called her apology lame and said that she should resign from Congress or at least not be allowed to serve on committees. Well, unfortunately, if you got somebody of African descent that came to this country and is now sitting in Congress right about now, who has seen firsthand of Israel's Zionist practices against migrating refugees from Africa and them being turned away, Palestinians fighting to keep what little land that they've already originally had, then I don't think the apology was lame at all. As a matter of fact, I think the apology was well suited for the majority old white male caucus in the La La Land, the Great White Castle. Cheeseburger is, okay? Pitts tweeted Tuesday that her comments were a disgrace. He said those who engage in anti-Semitic troops should not just be denounced, they should face consequences for their words. Really? How is this is so contradictory. How are you Mike Pence, Mike Race Bannon Pence look-alike, okay, who calls his own wife mother? There's some incest problems there. How can he even say that when Cheeseburger has lied more than 9,000 times? Shouldn't he be persecuted for his words? For what he says? No, because his illegitimate base of ignorant jackasses out there don't believe in what he says. They only believe in what he does. And so far, he's doing this all right. I mean, if you look at the percentages, 80-20. 80% failure, 20% success. And half of that was half-ass altogether. Freshman Democratic posted tweets on Sunday that suggest that members of Congress support Israel because they paid into it. In a pair of tweets, Omar criticized the American Israel Public Affairs Committee, or AIPAC. It's all about the Benjamins, baby, she wrote, invoking slang about $100 bills, asked on Twitter who was paying members of Congress to support Israel. Left-wing historian and magazine contributing editor Joshua Zitz tweeted, "I am one of those American Jews who opposes the occupation of the West Bank and Gaza Strip, laments Israel's anti-democratic drift, and doesn't regard the country as especially central to my Jewish identity. And I knew exactly what the Congresswoman meant. She might as well call us hook-nosed." Ooh. Omar supports the movement known as BDS for boycott, divestment, and sanctions aimed at Israel, and it's not the first time she's fought against accusations of anti-Semitism. She insists her rejection of the Israeli government refers to its stance toward Palestinians and is not directed at Jewish people. Omar has expressed regret for tweeting in 2012, "Israel has hypnotized the world. May Allah awake the people and help them see the evil dogs of Israel." She said this statement came in the context of Israel's state treatment of Palestinians in the Gaza Strip. So what further from the truth could she be from if she has to apologize for speaking it? Really? And you savages out there, continue on with your garbage. Speaking of savage, okay, speaking of savage, oh, this just goes on to no, it goes on to no level of dirty extreme of how well this government is being ran by your almighty cheeseburger. All right? Come on, I got a plastic gun. I just need plastic bullets and a one-way ticket to Washington so I can put a bullet in his head. All right? Straight up, people. Straight up. It is a mess. It is a total freaking mess. And you know something? When it comes to the financial potency of it, I mean, politics and finance have now rolled themselves into one. And you can't separate them no more than you can separate church and state, especially in Washington, or church and controlled media in state. Wow. So it's all conjoined, it's all messy, and it just doesn't look all that good. I mean, come on. From out Axios, okay, here's the headline. You guys might just react to this. Uncertain future for corporate tax breaks. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay, so let's look at it this way, people. Like I said, finance, politics, church, and state are not separated as they should be. Okay, the Constitution even says that. However, since we have revisionists to the Constitution who put up policies and everything else that absolutely don't matter to any of us whatsoever because we're not paying attention to it as though we should. But then again, America loves stupidity with 2 O's. All right? So, let me ask you people this. When it comes to uncertain future corporate tax breaks, what does that mean for you? Who's sitting at the bottom of the hill waiting for the avalanche to finish? It's not going to happen. Okay? In the fall of 2017, Amazon made itself a fiat hero. The towns and cities across the United States celebrated for promising to create 50,000 new jobs, paying more than $100,000 a year, and a lucky place that would host the company's second headquarters. However, Amazon may be forced to give up at least some of the $3 billion in concessions it was granted in November to create 25,000 new jobs in New York City or build its HQ2 somewhere else. Amazon is staring down a crisis of reputation. Oh no, I'm going to have to move my books someplace else. Its H2Q search, launched in an era of public support verging on adulation, is now caught up in a very different epoch of popular unhappiness with the unchecked power of wealthy companies. Wealthy companies that absolutely benefited from last year's tax breaks. Zakir Muhammad, salam alaikum, good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the show. And thanks for coming through. But more importantly, when it comes to healthy and wealthy companies who got their tax breaks, about 95% of them didn't do jack for the employees. They didn't do jack for the communities. They didn't do jack for the states or the cities that they were in. Some even bought yachts with boats in them. Where do you come off with this crap? My God. Why it matters? Okay, the stink against bigness is spreading. A big stink. I remember in my youthful days, the big stink was a big mess. A big mess, especially if you're getting caught cheating with another girl. Anyway, with scholars, lawmakers, and grassroots organizers decrying the same big tech companies that were once considered 21st century champions. In Louisiana, small school boards, no vote against a $2.9 million subsidy for Exxon. A historically big oil-friendly state fueled panic. Why? Let's look at this, people. Let's look at this, all right? Now, in Louisiana, they have what is known as Cancer Alley. They also have a port within the Gulf of Mexico that is filled with black water, dead water. Offshore drilling causes a lot of that. And Exxon is like in a panic because they're losing money on the whole deal? You're damn right. What better than to kill poor people in low-income areas where HUD is afraid they may not have Section 8 vouchers all up after May, where we might have a national crisis of financial instability. Oh, but the economy is doing great. Everybody's being employed and they're working twice as hard. Nice, nice. Okay. So, in Virginia, Lee Carter, a self-described socialist and state lawmaker, is slamming the state's decision to give up giant Micron $70 million for, well, what's this? 11,000 jobs as culprit? Wow. Okay, so I guess 9 times out of 10, everybody just sided with old Cheeseburger and made it official that, one, they can't do anything. Okay? They can't do anything. Obviously, they can't do anything at all. Which means the people have spoken. And when the people speak up and demand better, healthier areas to live, when they demand better food, when they demand better air, when they demand better housing, the voice of the voiceless are tired of not being heard. For real. They can walk around with these thoughts all day long in their subconscious, but needless to say, when you sleep at night, this subconscious gives you the dreams or the predicated nightmares that are basically handled by our also-mighty Whitey. Nice. Nice. I like it what Chelsea Clinton just said. I like what's going on and so forth. But here is the problem, people. Here's the problem. While this thing is like, working, here's the problem. Problem is that we all have available solutions to a lot of these problems. Yet, as poor people, we don't take time to address them. And because we don't address them, we go about our lives succinctly thinking that maybe, hey, it'll get better. The sun's out. I'm not dead. Ain't nobody shot me. At least my car got stolen and hopefully the police will get it back. All that crap. Come on. When the bigger plan is ethno-state of America. Divide it, conquer it, and sell it. Sell back the brand name of cheeseburger's name all over the world, and you will all be subjugated to it. Nice. 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 Totally nice. You guys want to go out that way, by all means, any sucker can fall for it. Okay? But it takes somebody or a group of people or maybe a mob of people to actually say, okay, enough is enough. All right? Enough is enough. We have to. I mean, if Ted Cruz is trying to El Chapo is supposed to come to Supermax out here, right? So and Supermax is like one of those prisons that's stuck and you're only 500 miles away and you're 500 miles and it's surrounded by desert. Nothing but desert, all right? It's also crazy. It's also crazy that when you have these stories that are coming from out of sectors of Washington, all leads to one thing and one thing only. It leads to the alt-right coming up with all kinds of excuses to back it up. What? To back up lies, to back up falsitudes, to back up the reasons why our government sucks so badly? I mean, good grief, I could have got a better blowjob by a gumless crackhead. Fox News, Freedom Caucus Chair Mark Meadows gives border wall deal a resounding no. All about the wall, all about the shutdown. Go ahead, shut the government down one more time and see what the hell happens. Will the people rise up and march on Washington and stand in line to kick this bastard in his ass all damn day long? This is what I mean by patada en el culo, a kick in the ass. Right? This mucho pendejo who cites racism on a day-to-day basis. This malign tumor in an American policy has sat there and made, it made the might for white rights a thing, a theme. Not only a theme, but a mantra. I don't know. Most of his cabinet members have been arrested. He's got nothing but substitutes running on different departments who absolutely have no clue of what they're doing. Okay, come on, look at Whitaker. Whitaker was a complete jackass, and therefore knows full well he's going to have to recluse himself from the investigation altogether. All right, so Representative Mark Meadows, Republican from North Carolina. Okay. Chairman of the Conservative House Freedom Caucus panned the tentative border security agreement hammered out by the congressional negotiators and said that cheeseburgers should supplement the deal with executive action. I don't support, quote-unquote, the agreement, and I don't like it. Okay? Your world with Neil Cavuto, as he says this on Tuesday. Only in Washington, D.C. can we start out with needing $25 billion for border security measures and expect applause at $1.37 billion. I mean, only in D.C. is that a winning deal. Okay, come on. Cheeseburger inflated those numbers as he went and then dropped down and then doesn't know exactly. I'm serious. He does not know his math at all. Guesstimation, assumption, okay, wishful thinking. Okay, there's nothing positive in any of that stuff. This man, he dreams on his own fallacies. Okay? Come on. If you do not see the devil for what the devil does, then obviously you are clueless to why the devil exists. Simple as that. Meadows says he expects Cheeseburger to sign the spending agreement into law in order to avert a second partial government shutdown this year, but added, I expect him to follow up on some type of executive action, whether the nationalist emergency or some other tools in his toolbox. What tools? The man has a rock and a stick tied together. That's how he's clubbing the crap out of America. And he's clubbing only the dumbasses out there. All right? Straight up and down. And guess what? Dumbasses love it. They love it. They're nothing but a bunch of wife-beating Anglo-Saxon jackasses who see fit to make sure that America stays white as possible. During Black History Month? Sure. Now that some of you like to come out in blackface and accept the fact that you will never get a part in Hollywood for that. Okay? So he goes on to say, I'm disappointed in Congress. Once again, we failed to do what we promised the American people we would do, appropriate the amount of money to secure our southern border. We kicked the can down the road. That fell into the creek, that wound up in the ocean as garbage. Come on, there was no sewage treatment for that. The White House earlier Tuesday, Cheeseburger said he was not happy with the tentative deal at first glance, but did not say whether he would reject it. White House has demanded $5.7 billion for the border wall and raised the prospect of Cheeseburger diverting money from the federal budget to provide additional funding. He's diverting funds out of his pocket, diverting funds from the government into other private citizens' pockets in their own corporations or companies that he owes money to or owes favors or has been dealing with them since his days in the 70s when he was running with the freaking mob. Oh, you don't believe it? Come on, check Studio 54 and I'll meet you in the back alley later with that cocaine party. All right? So, I'm thrilled because we're supplementing things and moving things around, Cheeseburger said, and we're doing things that are fantastic and taking from far less important areas. And the bottom line is we're building a lot of wall. Right now, we're building a lot of wall. We're building a lot of wall of bullshit. Okay, come on. All you're going to get is 1.3, and that's it. You lost 2.5 billion on the damn table. That's not a master negotiator. That is a supplicant, a masturbator of finances. Of course, needless to say, he has done a lot of that for quite some time. Really. This is almost disgusting to a point. But then again, Fox News, like Sean Hannity and every other right-wing operative, okay, seems to support the ideal that an idiot can actually run a damn town. Well, unfortunately, this village idiot of 239 pounds, failing health and hair, and of course, junkie of the year, will never make Time Magazine's alma mater. Will never meet history the way it should be. And most importantly, will have the resounding disappointment when he makes his second run as POTUS. Which is not going to happen. Robert, Mario, hey, what's going on? Good morning. Oh, crap. Damn, I got to way back. Yo! That's what I talk about. Join the conversation, people. Doesn't matter. All that matters and so forth is this. Is that we get up and stop letting these bozos run our lives. When are we as poor people going to sit down and take the damn time to write policy for ourselves, to govern ourselves? When are we going to have self-reliance from a government that sees nothing more than intervention on our very lives? That has minions who call the police on you for doing absolutely nothing. Okay? For policies that cause what we call a diaspora here in America. Again. Okay? Again. First it was slavery, now we got the Latinos going through this whole thing, and now 3,000 people can't even find their damn kids. Where's the investigation for that? There'll be more of that later on. But here is the ass end of the whole thing. Ass end of this is this. First and foremost, one, I doubt seriously if Ted Cruz is going to get that damn bill passed, okay? He forgets who runs the Senate. Two, okay, of all the lofty ideals and lies that Cheeseburger has promised America, 85% of them have fallen through the cracks, okay? The only thing he's been correct on and actually doing is his laws against illegal immigration. Well, I hate to tell you this, a lot of these illegal immigrants come through here and they make a premise of doing good work, supporting their families, putting their kids through college, that sort of thing, and having their babies here. Wait a minute, perspective. Didn't Cheeseburger do the same thing? He married an illegal alien who never graduated from out of her university, had an anchor baby, and grandfathered in both of her parents who are just as old as he is. Yeah. Truth stinks, doesn't it? The truth is ugly, isn't it? Needless to say, America sucks, and it stinks, and it's putrid. All because it believes in the lies that they don't fact check. Go ahead, stupid ass. Prove me wrong. You got your challenge? If not, I'll give you a goodbye gift on that one. How about a sucker punch? Bam. There you go. Bam. Right. Sucker punch. Okay? Straight up. I love these things. Anyway, for the most part, people, our analysis is this. One, it's not the fact that we're going to hell in a handbasket. We're already sitting in hell. We believe in hell that segregation is good for the country. in hell we believe that racial discrimination should be the foundation. It should carry on throughout the next 30 or 40 generations. We are in hell because we absolutely do nothing to stop the carnage that this jackass is putting on. And if Basameth is cheeseburger in disguise, then needless to say, y'all voted for the devil. Now, pardon all the other good white people out there that are poor, that are working, that are trying to keep their kids from winding up on 20 or 60 minutes because they got some rare disease that they can't fix and marijuana is the only thing that can save them. The problem is this. America has a problem with its ethnicity. It does. For the damn near genocide of Native Americans to the constant genocide of African Americans and the diaspora and capitulation of the Latinos or the Latin nation as a whole, okay? Ocho vision to Browner vision, from Honduras all the way up, from Venezuela all the way up, to Latin America all the way up, underneath that Monroe Doctrine and Manifest Destiny. Everybody else is a problem. All the inventions and all the carefree crap that, needless to say, our society has put together does not give credit to any of its diverse inventions. Does not give any credit to any of its diverse scientists, lawmakers, teachers, academics. But we can damn sure go and pay $30 for a daggone seat at a sporting arena to see all of us running around like a bunch of jigaboos. Yeah. Right. Oh, as Far Side once played, it's jigaboo time, it's jigaboo time, it's jigaboo time. Okay, jeez. Y'all kill me with that. But then again, I expect idiocy from people who basically don't pay attention to what's going on around them. What's being effective as far as policy and laws are concerned when, needless to say, it goes against you. Come on. Think about it, people. You might have neighbors today. The next thing you know, you might have 300 people out of your whole neighborhood rounded up and dragged away like they used to do to Jews in SS Nazi territory. Who have like fled to Venezuela. Who caused like the whitening of Venezuela. Come on! Come on. Eugenics has never stopped, people. It's never stopped. Let's say good morning to everybody so that way we know where we're at, all right? Anyway, I want to say good morning to Walter Jenkins, a man who remembers. That's right. Good morning to Sage. That's right. Grandpa is running the house. Freeland Anna Santiago, good morning. Rodney White, good morning and happy belated birthday to your oldest son, Junior. That sort of thing. Also, happy birthday to Jazz Lagaya Passions, Southfield. March Pitts, good morning. Let's see. Also, Jay Kwan, good morning. What's the film? Dude, I am not worthy. You find everything. You're a better detective than I am. Helen Jackson, good morning. Amina Mendez, good morning. That's right, happy birthday. Gloria Anderson, good morning. Daniel Malone, good morning. Josebo Ferreira Santos, good morning. Sergio Martzine, good morning. Also, good morning to my man Luke Cage. Power Man, get your beats at the Mothership Collection or Connection. Anyway, Prince Malloy, good morning. Love you, brother. Darius Motowitzki, good morning. Karine Zazin, good morning. Tom Bacon, the man synonymous with world domination. Good morning. Ladybug Love, good morning. Takuji Nakago, good morning. Yuka Matsuda, good morning. Datio Eto, good morning. Ian Burke, good morning. Queen Anita W. Hardy, good morning. Aki Charlie, good morning. Jason Anthony, good morning. It's your crazy self. Rosella, good morning. That's right, good morning. Bruce Lassiter, good morning. Walter Wiz Whitey, good morning. I know you got a job. Congratulations, my little brother. What's going on? What's going on? And good morning to everybody around the world. Jola Fitz, good morning. Yes, Energetic Bunny, I do see you. Let's see, Angela Montoya, DJ Aussie Boy, good morning. Oh my goodness, Tony. Deborah Myers, good morning. Oh my goodness, Bleep, good morning. Everybody, good morning. That's right, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome, 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 welcome. And I'm going to continue to do that way. Anyway, most importantly, people, realize that we're all human beings. That we are responsible for each other because it also says in your Bibli, or Bible if you want to call it, or a bib lie, if you want to call it that. This does have some very good passages. And therefore, should you be rich and not take care of those who are under your charge, as far as you being a ruler of your land, and you do not take care of the poor, you will find it very hard and very difficult to buy your way into heaven. No matter how many lies you tell at the gate, guess what? We're going to be standing there looking at you saying, nah, dude, we already know your history. You got to go. Okay? Just remember, the darkness will swim around you before it drags you to hell. Right about now, that darkness is looking a little brighter, isn't it? Snowball's chance in hell until hell freezes over. Damn. If the hell does freeze over, then it's going to produce a white devil. Oh my God, cheeseburger. Anyway. Whoa, gotta love it, gotta love it. Oh my goodness. Hakan Atun, good morning. Miss you, brother. Good morning. Morning. Salam alaikum. Oh, but more importantly, once we get out there and we do the job and we do it right, we can basically maintain our humanity. So get out there and put a smile on somebody's face. When you do that, you're sharing your humanity and the happiness that basically resounds within us. And by doing so, it makes us all better. That, we are KTNG860am.org. Thank you for listening and watching the KTNG Morning Show. And of course, love, peace, and chicken grease. All power to the people. All people to a purpose. Bam. That's right. Oh, God. Hell up. Let's kill this.